Hey everyone, Alvaro Cortez Jr. here, aka Lance Danger, doing VEDA number 19 or 18. I'm not quite sure anymore which day exactly it is. Video every day, August 2022. I'm starting to get on my feet again and starting to, get back into the grind of things. My cat is jumping around everywhere in case you hear odd noises. So I've been also trying to rest as much as I can as well. So today, my girlfriend and I were watching the start of Volume 2 of Untold, which are controversial things that's happened in sports. I'm just keeping an eye on my cat. He's kind of jumping and climbing around places that he hasn't really before. He's a very athletic cat. He's probably going to try out for the minor leagues for the Mets next season if they win the World Series this year, but let me not jinx that. Anyway, the story of Manti, Ateo or something like that, I had first heard of that story when it started happening way back 2012, 2013. I didn't know the details of it because I'm not a big American football fan. Especially if I do watch American football, it's usually the NFL, not the college games. And I make the distinction American football because I'm also a fan of football, soccer. My father was a huge football fan for, of course, the Mexican teams and whatnot. And my girlfriend is a huge football fan of Real Madrid, because that's where she is from anyway. So she's a huge football fan and especially a huge Real Madrid fan. So football has been kind of around my whole life. So I do appreciate the sport and like it and whatnot. I usually root for Mexico in the World Cup and whatnot and the America Cups. I wish Puerto Rico's team was better, but football is something that really never really took off in Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico has always been a predominantly baseball and basketball league, really, with the outlier of a Puerto Rican American football player that actually made it to the NFL and such. I don't know if there's any Puerto Rican hockey players. I would have to check up on that. But anyway, that was a crazy story, listening to in detail the whole story that happened. Catfishing was a thing back then. It wasn't, I guess, as, I wouldn't say popular, but it wasn't at least as out there as it is now. It kind of reminded me of one of my all-time favorite comics, Divine Right, The Adventures of Max Faraday, created by Jim Lee. He was the original artist as well until a few issues before the series finale, which had kind of somewhat to do with that also, with meeting someone online and whatnot, and the possibility of the person not being exactly what they were portraying online. You gotta be careful out there, man. I was never a big dating guy, so I never really got too exposed to that, I guess. I've had very few dates from meeting someone online, maybe 2 at the most, 3. Though I did have a relationship at one point with someone I met online. It turned out to be a pretty long relationship actually back in the day. But you have to be careful, man. Sometimes you really have to be careful who you're talking with on the internet, especially on the internet. There's a lot more precautions now compared to back then. But even back then, Divine Right was something maybe early 2000s, maybe. I think it was before his Batman run. Because I think it was before Wildstorm was sold off to DC, so it had to be like early 2000s or something. And even back then, like one of the characters, like you gotta be careful, like this person could probably not be the person she's saying that she is. What a crazy world. Anyway, thank you, I guess, for listening to this stream of consciousness of catfishing. I know, random, but what you gonna do? Thank you so much for watching. I'll try to do more elaborate videos starting next week. I am, health update. I am a lot better. I do have the green light from my doctors to like resume things like normal. I just have to like build up my physical strength at this rate. So hopefully I'll be getting physically stronger and I'll be able to put out more content out there in terms of web comics, videos, all that good stuff. It's a celebration. It's still my birthday month. It's still Warlord's anniversary month. So come celebrate with me and stay creative.